plot thickens in the debate over THC and cannabis in the state of Texas. Governor Abbott vetoed Senate Bill 3, an outright ban on consumable hemp in the state of Texas. He also called a special session to begin July 21st to debate whether and how to regulate the $8 billion industry that's popped up over the last few years. It restarts a fight between THC customers, veterans, and businesses, and those who want it banned. Teacher groups, doctor groups, alcohol companies, law enforcement, and social conservatives. It also pits two of the most powerful people in the state against each other. Governor Abbott, who wants to legalize and regulate THC, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who wants to make it illegal even for adults. And we're going to explore the real-world impacts of the debate that's happening in the state capitol.
And all of a sudden, it exploded as an issue.
I'm not mad at the governor, but I'm not going to legalize marijuana in Texas. And
I'm like, wow, where did this come from?
if people want to vote me out of office for that, so be it.
There are meaningful positions and concerns on both sides of the issue.
And it wasn't their daddy's marijuana.
And I think that that's where we should meet, is at the corner of education and sensible regulation.
So we're here in Fort Worth to talk to Candace Stinnett. She's the owner of Emerald Organics, this hemp store. She opened this in 2019, and she opened it right after lawmakers allowed hemp products to be sold in the state of Texas. Since then, there's about 8,000 hemp licenses, but not all of them are like stores like this. She has 11 people that work for her, and she tells us that she has about 100 customers come in and out every day. So we'll go talk to her. What's the mood like?
Very uncertain times right now, which is causing a ripple effect, leading to this uncertainty is leading to frustration, feelings of loss, grief, and it's just a little unstable right now. Because
you don't know if some of your products will be legal or not come September.
No idea. No idea. And, you know, the good thing is that we'll know within very soon, but the uncertainty, it lingers every day. And do I stock up on more products? Do I chill right now and let it kind of work its way out until we just don't know? And that is the very sad thing, I guess.
And what are the stakes for you and this business?
We would shut down.
Really?
There would be, with the SB3 ban, it does away with all cannabinoids except for CBD and CBG.
How many of these products that you sell are THC?
Yeah, how many of the products? I would say over 60%, because again, the benefits of the full plant, which does include THC in the hemp plant. I mean, the hemp plant offers a wide variety of benefits for health, nutrition, and even industrially. And on the consumption side, it helps people to find overall well-being in their day-to-day lives, whether it be stress, sleep, just trying to unwind from a long day, and they're wanting to ban that, ban the plant.
And how many do you think are coming here for health reasons? And then how many are coming just because they like THC?
I would say majority use it to find relief from whatever they're suffering with, whether it be emotionally, mentally, physically, or even just to hang out with friends on the weekends and just unwind and have a good time. So we see it all, but I would say majority come in here for those nutritional benefits.
Yeah. You obviously had to learn a lot how the legislative process works.
Yeah,
what was that like?
You know, we learned as we went. We learned as I went along with that, being a part of the Texas Hemp Coalition and having weekly meetings and trying to understand the intricacies, the ins and outs, and how to talk to these, people that we voted into office, and going and knocking on their doors.
What surprised you? Was there anything that you had a vision of how it worked, and then you realized that that's not how it worked?
Right. I thought I was going to talk to the President of the United States, because it was, it's a little intimidating going to talk to these people that we voted into office. But, they're just normal people just like us, and they want an understanding of this plant. I think that that's where there's a gap, is this bill to ban THC. I think that there's just a lack of understanding of it, and also a lack of regulation of it.
You're not going to want rules on how powerful some of this stuff is.
Yeah, because you don't want to, if someone is uneducated, you don't want to give them a 50 milligram product that's going to make them sick. Just like you wouldn't want to go into a liquor store and drink the whole entire bottle of alcohol. So having these in place will help to better regulate the market, better to educate.
Because you think that there are good and bad actors, and the regulations would have solved the bad actor problem.
There's bad actors in almost every industry. There's bad actors in almost every family. But, you don't just get rid of them, get rid of everything. The bad actors will eventually weed themselves out, and the people that are there for a quick buck to make very low quality synthetic products, or products that are marketed and doing it the wrong way, they always end up seeing themselves out.
And have you ever heard of the people in state government, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, or did you ever think about the state government before this year, and they are seriously getting in your business?
It has been a few years leading up to this.
They view it as a vice, right? They view it just like marijuana.
There is, and even I was stuck in that until my story is that I went through cancer treatments when I was 21 years old. And when I went through those treatments, I met someone that was my age, because I was in my early 20s. I met someone going through the same cancer treatments as me, and we were the same age. And he just kind of introduced me to the medicinal and therapeutic benefits of the plant. And then fast forward 10 years later, my aunt was diagnosed with cancer, and she wasn't getting out of bed. After all the treatments, she wasn't getting out of bed. She wasn't eating. And when she started consuming the plant, it just turned her whole quality of life around. And she was coming over to my house and walking my dogs, eating all the food that I had cooked, and then asking for more. And that's what flipped the switch in me. Like, why was I always told that this plant was so harmful? But I'm seeing it right before my eyes help my aunt just live a comfortable life until it was her time.
And what does it feel like knowing that it could go away here at the end of the year?
I am so connected to the people that come in here, and knowing what they come in here for, whether they're stressed or having anxiety about something, or can't sleep because of a loss in their family, or they're struggling emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it may be. Just, I think about them and what would happen to them. Me, I'll be fine, but not being able to serve and love on them is what's really going to be hard.
So now we're here to talk to Gromer Jeffers from the Dallas Morning News. He's the co-host with me of Lone Star Politics. So I've been here for it'll be 2 years in July. He's been covering Texas politics for years and years, maybe 2 decades. Before this, he was in Kansas City. And people know Gromer. I mean, we get in places that we shouldn't get into because people know Gromer and they trust Gromer because of just how long he's been covering this. So we'll go get some context from him. I'm not a THC guy.
Right.
But I am learning I know a lot of THC people because this issue has broken through to kind of the general public. Are you getting the same impression?
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of the session, and quite frankly, when I guess 2019, the Farm Bill was passed that sort of created this industry through a quote-unquote loophole, didn't think much about THC, and all of a sudden it exploded as an issue, and I'm like, wow, where did this come from?
Mid-session.
Mid-session, and there's so much passion on both sides, and then you hear like ban, and a lot of times bans don't happen, right? They just talk about, we're gonna ban this, and then there's some sort of middle ground that they find. Not in this case, though. It was interesting, and so now you have the governor. It's all like put in his lap, and Phil, I kind of think he's like us. He had his emergency items. He was thinking about other things.
School choice vouchers.
Bail policy, water, all of that. And then, now he has to make a decision about THC.
Which
He's
may
like,
be what this session is going to be remembered for.
Yeah, because, let's say if he vetoes it, then, yeah, the fallout from that will be intense, because the era of good feelings between Lieutenant Governor Patrick and the governor and the speaker to some degree, that might be over.
What's interesting to me about this is it shows how the individual people at the top, what Lieutenant Governor Patrick, Governor Abbott, Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows, what they want really shifts state policy, like as an individual.
Especially if they really want it, right?
Because I don't think any of these lawmakers came in to this legislative session thinking we're going to go in and ban THC.
Exactly.
But it passed
Maybe
with
tweaks,
but it passed with wide numbers. I mean, once they got the signal from their leaders, they were like, all right, I guess we're going this way.
Yeah, and again, the power of the lieutenant governor. He's basically, he said, guys, I want this one. That's what I want, this one. And the governor has said that. He said it on school choice. No, I want education savings account. This is what I want. All this other stuff is important, but I want this. And this is what Patrick said about it. Who knew that he was so passionate until we knew, right? And you're right. If one of the big three, if they want something, they're going to fight hard to get it, and it's going to come out of their chamber, or from their bully pulpit, and they're going to keep trying until they get it. The question is, again, I talked to Abbott the other day, and he had it's like a smirk on his face. And I was like, he's probably thinking, oh my God, they dropped this in my lap.
Yeah.
Why me? Why? So whatever he does, right?
Well, and they did expand the compassionate use program to say, if you get a doctor to say you need this, there are some options. They just don't like it. Anybody, Phil and Gromer, just wants it, can go buy it.
Exactly, but it's easier for Phil, like if you're in pain or something. Or what if Phil just wants a gummy to help him sleep? Hard night at NBC 5, right?
It's against the law, or will be.
Right, or will be, right? But should it be? I mean, you got adults out there who are like, wait a minute,
Anything else you think is interesting about this?
I do think that it's THC today. What is it tomorrow, right? We didn't think about THC at the beginning of this. What are the issues that will spring up since the legislature, Phil, and we've talked about this many times, it's on this not sort of libertarian bent, not less government. We're going to be up in your business if we think that you're doing wrong.
They almost got rid of the lottery.
Yes.
I mean, it survived just barely.
Just barely.
And the Republicans in charge now are okay with using the power of the state to move the state in a direction that they want to, business-wise, morally-wise.
Yes, exactly. And especially if they suspect children are involved. That's the number one excuse.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this is Texas. I mean, this was part of the frontier a long time ago. People moved out here for freedom.
It's a rowdy state.
Exactly.
Thank you. Bill Wayburn, Tarrant County Sheriff.
Some of the largest supporters for SB3 were law enforcement groups, and one of the most vocal law enforcement leaders in the state of Texas is Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn. When you are seeing a press conference about an issue about law enforcement in the state capitol, there's a good chance Sheriff Wayburn's going to be there. He was first elected in 2016. He's now in his third term, and he really is passionate about this THC issue. Senate Bill 3 passed.
Right.
From a law enforcement perspective, what's the problem that SB3 is trying to solve?
Well, several years ago, we widened the loopholes for THC to come into Texas, which was a mistake. And I think we've got to close those. And I'll give you the most biggest answer I can give you is right when I came into office in 2017, is that I got a briefing by MH mental health authorities, and they said 25% of the jail population needed mental health services. Today, that number, post-THC coming into our world, is nearly 70%. And I believe THC is at the tip of the spear, and I've talked to several mental health people, and they absolutely agree that high levels of THC is causing, are part of the cause of our mental health crisis. And of course, the rest of the cocktail of drugs involved in that go along with it. So that's what we're trying to do, is close those loopholes.
When you say mental health issues, what do you mean? I mean, just people using it for recreational, getting high, to have fun, or what?
Absolutely, and it wasn't their daddy's marijuana. All of a sudden this marijuana is high, the high THC levels in it, the high THC levels in the vaping, and what we have seen is that they become paranoid, they become schizophrenic, they become high anxiety levels, and like I said, the super paranoia and the psychosis where they're just not there. And unfortunately, I've talked to parents who have kids that have vaped some of this stuff, and their 17-year-old is no longer 17, they're 10, and they're not coming back.
And I understand that it's hard to test what is legal and what is not for somebody who doesn't know. How's that work?
Absolutely, and we have arrested people that probably had what was considered legal, come to find out that it was the hemp that was supposed to be under 3%. So it's hard to distinguish what's legal and what's not legal.
Because officers and deputies don't have the testing materials to do it right there on site.
Right.
There's a group of folks who will say, hey, this also helps their mental health, that whether it's veterans trying to recover from PTSD. What do you think of that argument? Because some people say this does help them.
I think that probably there are good things coming from some of this level of marijuana or something. And I'm compassionate about it with people who say, hey, I no longer have seizures. Fantastic. So I think the medical medicine that it helps, we should always look at. We always should be pro. We want the compassionate stuff to happen. We want the people to be treated. It's when we get into that this level of THC goes from 3% to 20% that we should be concerned with.
Would you be supportive of a doctor says Phil needs this and he goes get it through the compassionate use program?
Right. And
is that different from Phil saying by himself, I want it, I just want to go buy it at a vape shop?
It's 100% different.
Okay.
And we got to rely on the integrity of our medical families to do that. That community needs to make sure that their integrity is in place and be watchful of their own people.
How is SB3 going to be enforced, do you think?
Well, that's a good question, so we will, when it becomes law in a few short months, I see a lot of voluntary stuff. I see people who are selling that stuff now that are honest people, and they're going to just quit selling it. Is what I hope for and what I think. Now, if they don't, there will be probably things put in place where law enforcement can take action.
So it'd be a felony to have it on your body?
Depending on what level it is. It could be as low as a Class B, I think, or as high as a felony, depending.
What do you think happens to the businesses that have popped up, the vape shops?
I think that we will see some of them go away. And, as I understand it, and I haven't looked at the map personally, but I'm told that there's 1,800 shops that popped up in Texas over the last few years. And by no coincidence, a lot of them across the street from junior highs. So I think we'll see some of those closing down, or going out of business, or packing up and going someplace else, or they will try to find legal niches to do this.
When you look back on where this debate has gone over the last year and a half, what do you think? What's the big picture on this? What's the story here?
I think that the legislature's got firsthand view of the damage that was done by it through various testimonies and physical evidence, and I think that they saw, hey, we got to do course correction on this, and that's what they did. And I think it's going to help. I hope it does anyway. And I think the big picture is why Texas wants everybody to bask in liberty and freedoms. There's some things that we need to control, and that having a vape shop across the street full of THC from a junior high is not what we need.
But we'll find out more in the days ahead. Now, some lawsuits have already been filed over this issue, but as of now, it looks like the people who want to legalize and regulate it and the people who want to ban it, well, they're both not moving. But something to keep an eye on in the days ahead. Some people in the state capitol tell me that a possible middle ground may be the slow expansion of the T-Cut program. That's the Texas Compassionate Use Program, allowing people to use cannabis with a prescription from their doctor. Right now, it's pretty limited. Kids with epilepsy, Texans with disabilities, some veterans. Could that be expanded in this special session? We'll find out in July. Or they may just have to take this to the election and to find out what Texas voters believe about their specific positions on the cannabis issue. But one thing is for sure, this story is not over. We have much more content on NBCDFW.com, YouTube, our social media channels, and then on NBC5.